Today we are trying to finish up the video project by adding in the Foley sound effects we recorded yesterday, processing them and making them sound good, and then also restructuring the guitar parts because we've recorded lots of guitar parts but they're out of sync and out of time, so fixing that will be the problem today. That's the aims. So I have isolated the audio of the original Dunkirk video using AI, and then I have put it into Logic, and I have put a compressor, and then I've put it on Send, just make it a bit louder, so a bit more like a telephone. And then what did I need to do? What are we going to do?
We need to continue the guitar parts.
Continue guitar parts.
It cuts off way too early.
Oh, and then playing. We need to show the new sounds.
So we can probably do that with guitar, to be fair.
Yeah.
So,
and then what else? Get the sound effects in.
and then we need to do something else with sound effects. We need to do the gun sounds and beating hit sounds, which we have the audio for, I think.
See, what I think is this: we do actually have the ability to, this one. And then it should be, yeah.
Oh, it's because I'm on a bass pattern. And then we could do 4/8. Don't really matter.
So to make my gun sounds, that awesome gun sound, what I did is so first off I had to process the audio, which was originally me punching a bin outside, the November 19th to 1032 file. And then what I did is I loaded it into the quick sampler, because the quick sampler is amazing and beautiful and we love it. And then I put the start and end of the sample to be quite a short. It was actually 0.1 seconds of audio, and it just and then I also put an arpeggiator on to get it shooting fast enough to make it sound like an automatic gun, like a Gatling gun from a Spitfire. And then what we also did was a candy fuzz and overdrive to get that kind of biting, aggressive sound. Channel EQ just to make it more prominent in the high ends and make that kind of, sound of air being moved. And then put a send on with an EQ with a low cut and a bit of like a high pass, then into a chroma verb on 100% wet, which is just a very small room reverb. I actually turned down quite a lot of it, so I turned down the size to 30%, the density to 20%, and the distance down as well. I did this basically because I'm lazy. No, I'm not. I just didn't want it to be a big sound. I wanted it to be just a little bit of air moving, so it kind of gets the sound of the force of the bullets being fired. Yeah, and it sounds pretty awesome now. Okay, so let's just explain what we've done so far today. What have we added? So we've fully restructured the guitar part and re-recorded it. Ethan brought the guitar in again today. So we've got all the guitar parts up. That's all Maelstrom and Turbo Metal parts. They've all been restructured and comped and everything, and they're much more structured and in time with each other, which is great. What else have I added? So we've got the gun sounds, which is from that sampler, and that was pretty cool. So we can go through that. So that's got the arpeggiator into a sampler, into Candy Fuzz, into an overdrive, into a channel EQ, into a bus. I'm just trying to organise that to make it look nice.
You could use this as like a pulse.
I'm going to screenshot that. So for the gun sounds, on the chain, so with that Candy Fuzz, it's a very low drive. It's on almost like, I think it's 0.6 decibels of drive, so it's basically nothing. It's just that little bit of fuzz, that kind of extra fizz. And then into an overdrive to boost up and thicken the sound itself. 20,000 hertz tone, so I don't want to lose any audio and change the sound of it. I just want it to be bigger, more powerful, and everything. EQ, just a tiny little boost around the 2600 range, just to bring that high end up a bit more and a bit more fizz from the gun sound. Low cut filter around 57 hertz, just to remove all that low end noise and unnecessary stuff that we don't need in the mix. And then what else have we added? So then sound effects as well. So we've got three main sound effects. We've got 2 rain sound effects, which are going to be used in the explosion when the plane hits the water. And then we've got some metal on metal sound effects of the sounds of bullets hitting the plane. Those will be added in. That's actually the same as the sampled audio file. It's just the original unprocessed audio of it. So create that kind of sound.
And then it comes out.
Then we've also got sound of the HVAC. That'll be used as like a bit of a plane sound, but I also think it could be used as more like a movement plane sound, because it's quite like a phasing sound, which is quite cool.
So how far do you think you're going to get through this?
Yeah, I think that's what we've done so far today. Pretty happy with the fact that we managed to get these bullet sounds working. We did have some issues with it. One of the main issues was it sounding too metallic. So that was, I had to reduce how much I was boosting that 2600 by, it was only, it's now to about 1.2-ish, which is good. And then I've just shortened the release on the envelope in the sampler to stop that metallic sound coming out, because there was a bit of a metallic after on the note off, which you didn't really want for a gun. It was, it was just not the right sound. Yeah. So what we've done with the Foley sound effects is, while Ethan was recording the guitar parts today, I was processing and developing the idea in the on his computer, which required a bit of sending back and forth, but it was all pretty good. I didn't really do too much for a lot of them. What I really did is I just wanted to make the volume level much louder, because the general volume level of this clip is quite loud, just because of how plane engine sounds, then adding the vocals in and everything. All that stuff was, just making sure it will all be prominent and it will all be cutting through the mix when it needs to cut through. One of the other things I also did today, which I've forgotten to mention so far, is the isolating of the vocals from the original audio clip. I used an AI website to do that. To bounce the original dogfight video into just a bounce in place, and then I took that bounce in place, exported it, then used that as what I would do into the AI to split it, and then just exported the vocals from that split, put that in the channel, and this is what I've got here. I did have a bit of pressure on that, it doesn't work, so we've taken it off, but I have compressed it quite a bit. It's got a 5.4 compression ratio, which is very high, and quite a high threshold as well. Negative 27 threshold, which is higher than what I normally stick around 20. So yeah, quite loud, 0 decibels, auto gain, so even more loud, and it does have a limiter on soft distortion, so that it's even more and even wider. That's what makes it wide. And then I put it into a send, and then I have put it into a bit crusher. So what I did is I put a telephone EQ preset on the send channel before I put it into the bit crusher, and that bit crusher basically just gives you a bit more of a radio sound, and it kind of amplifies it a tiny bit, and it's not very noticeable on its own, but when it's not there, it's noticeable, which is quite cool. And yeah, there was also another part. Actually, no, it was for that punching the bin sounds. I did actually, I phase isolated it with a pitch shifter, which was interesting.
Never again.